already need to clean up this room. Do something a little different with it, you know? Definitely need to do that. So, hmm. How about I do this? What's up, people? This KR086, and I know it's been a while since I actually made a video, but as you can see, I am in my new place. I've been moving and in the process of moving and getting certain things taken care of in regards to the new place that I'm in. And I just finally set up my computer. I know I could have used my laptop, but I was busy with doing a whole bunch of other things. So there's that. Um, but how have you been? How's things going? If you live in America, I'm pretty sure things are going great. I don't know how to say it. Now look, I don't want to talk about. I really don't want to talk about politics. I really don't, because once you get into the thought process, for me, once I get into the thought process of politics, it is a mind-numbing thing. Because whatever you say, you might piss off the wrong people or the right people. But at the same time, you're also trying to figure out a way to come to at least with me, I'm always trying to figure out a solution. As much as I hate to say this, a middle ground for all these subjects, all these things that go on. Like, in all honesty, I'm not even gonna go. I just don't like talking about politics, but how the stock market went with the tariffs. Oh boy, I think some people in the United States actually voted for the wrong president, and whew, yikes. Anywho, regardless, I just want to come on here and say, hey, what's up? Like I said, I'm still in the process of setting things up. I want to get back into streaming, and as you can see, I'm trying to get my lighting all set up. I mean, shoot, I got this new light slash fan in this room, which is actually pretty cool. It's actually a smart one. Actually, a smart one. It has a light on the top that you can change colors, and it has a light on the bottom that's just white, and then it's I forget what kind of fan it is. It's a bladeless fan, even though it does technically have blades in it, but there's a little fan in the middle, so I like it. It's enjoyable. Another thing that we need to do in this room, in order for me to make it into my bedroom, because I'm gonna have like a two room setup at my mom's house. Yes, I did move back in with my mom, but literally we just lost my stepdad, so I want to make sure she's all good. Anywho, yeah, so that's what's been going on with me. Now, look, I also want to talk about one thing. Nintendo Switch 2. Oh my god, I actually do. I actually want it. And I know it's going to be expensive, especially if the tariffs are still raging. It's going to be even hella expensive. And the games are going to be hecka expensive too. It's $80 to $90, and the second I found out that the president that we somehow ended up voting for again, like literally, people, why did you not do the one thing we had this is one thing that I noticed. This is the reason why I technically didn't vote for Trump. I'll be honest, didn't. The reason why I didn't vote for Trump, which I almost did, was because I decided to look up. I realized we were in a situation that doesn't normally that hasn't really happened in the information age. In the years going between ever since the internet became a thing, and that is there was a president who only served one term. And after another president had did his thing for 4 years, served his term, we were getting that same president was running for office again. So I was like, wait a minute, we have a chance here to actually, relook at this president's past plays. And no, that's exactly how I looked at it. I looked at his past stuff, and I was like, when he was in office, and I realized, oh good lord, because why in his first term did every single one of his cabinet members quit over the 4 years that he was in office? I mean, shoot. And now we just gave him the presidency with his pick of loyalists and who are willing to do whatever he wants you to do. It's mind blowing. If you're a Star Wars fan, we just literally put Palpatine in office. That's exactly what he decided. And I know there are going to be a whole bunch of people who might leave my channel for the fact that I said that. I know I'm probably going to have some friends of mine look at me like, dude, really? But look, I may not be a genius. I may not have gone to school forever, but here's the thing. There's one thing that most people know about me, and that's this. I like learning. I like studying. I like actually reading up on things. I like being knowledgeable about things, whether it be anime, whether it be video games, whether it be just trying to, do this whole YouTube thing. I like knowing things. I like learning things. I like studying things. Like, I like to be a jack of all trades. That's one reason why I like the current job that I have. I learn something new every single day. And so, of course, I'm going to read up on things. And when I read up on things, I understand these things. And when I understand these things, I'm like, I wish I could just show you exactly how my mind works, but it's so hard to explain, okay? But, hoy, it's crazy. But, yeah, so, I don't know, like, hopefully I'm still going to be able to watch anime, and hopefully I'll still be able to watch, my tokusatsu shows, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider. Oh boy, if that ever... Digimon. Play the video games I want, because I don't care what you say, like, the way things are going right now. Microsoft could be the only ones having the game system, but most people fail to realize that some of the microchips that were developed, that the Xbox uses, that Microsoft uses to make the Xbox, some of the components that go in some of the components of the PCs are from other countries, so things are going to get really expensive. We're not going to be able to just get an Xbox for the cheap. If the tariffs stay the way they are, oh good lord, it's just so mind-boggling. But anyways, I don't know. I'm just going to have to take it day by day, and that's exactly how I'm going to pull this stuff. Either way, regardless. That's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about for a second. Like, I just wanted to say hey, because it's been a minute. I want to talk for just a little bit, just say hi and show you some of the beginning of things. I mean, I think I hear an echo in this room. It's nice, actually. I have like some really good sound going on in this room, I feel, compared to my old room. Not as many people in here, so I can be a little in solitude when I make these videos. I don't know. Like, I just want to do some good stuff, and I feel like now that I'm, in this, in some of my old spaces, I might be a little bit more creative, and that's what I'm going to do. Oh, there's one thing I definitely have to talk about, and the fact that Billy Mitchell won his lawsuit against Carl Jobst, which was shocking. Okay, and that it just made me feel like we're in the darkest timeline, even more so. But the way everybody's going about it, like I've seen videos of that Oompaville and uh, some ordinary gamers did about the Carl Jobst thing, and granted, I get that. I get where everybody is saying. I get how everybody's a little bit upset about how Carl Jobst um, didn't tell us what the lawsuit was about. But I do recall something that a lot of lawyers kept saying during the whole um, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard defamation trial, and that is, when it comes down to it, and a lot of lawyers say this. I mean, heck, even the YouTube one of the main YouTube lawyers who would talk about the Andrew Tate cases and all that stuff. If you are in a lawsuit, you need to shut the fuck up. You need to shut up. You need to shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut your mouth. You don't want to add more fuel to the fire, so to speak. Once you got that whole once you are served with a lawsuit, you as the defendant need to shut up. You only talk to your lawyer about these things. You can explain that you're going into a lawsuit. You can sit there and say, you can say a few things about it, but technically you in order for you to even possibly get out of this lawsuit alive, in order for you to possibly make it out, in order for you to possibly gain a win, you got to be quiet about it. And I don't get why everybody's getting on Carl Jobst's case about it. Granted, nobody, I don't even think Carl Jobst would have guessed that he would have lost his case, or that the lawsuit would have been about what it was about. It was about a statement that Carl Jobst made in one of his Billy Mitchell cheating videos, which a lot of gamers understand. A lot of people know that Billy Mitchell is a cheater. Okay. Or know. A lot of people know of Billy Mitchell's cheating allegations and all that stuff. As far as everybody else is, as far as most people are concerned, allegedly Billy Mitchell cheated. And I'm saying, I'm being very careful with my words because I don't want this man to come after me. But something that Carl Jobst said in one of his videos happened to be a statement that talked about Apollo Legend, a very well-known speedrunning YouTuber, or a YouTuber who talked about speedrunning, that I was a fan of. I was a huge fan of. I didn't realize he had passed away, that he had unalived himself until maybe a year or so ago. And I don't even think it was a Carl Jobst video that I found out that whole thing. I think I found it out from a documentary about another speedrunner. But yeah, it turns out Carl Jobst made a statement in one of his videos about basically connecting. In the statement, it seems like it seems like it's connecting Billy Mitchell, his win against Apollo Legend in a lawsuit leading to Apollo Legend's, unaliving, self-unaliving. And like on one hand, that was devious. That was a really good strategy on Billy Mitchell's case. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. Nobody would have guessed that. However, from me watching the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial, I could swear that in order, I mean, I don't know how it works in Australian courts, but I know at least in an American court, at least from what most of the lawyers kept talking about throughout the entire trial of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, is that if you're going to base your defamation claim on a statement, you have to prove that that statement or that particular thing was the cause of your character being trashed. Like your reputation actually being ruined was due to that particular statement. And honestly, don't think so. I mean, considering that maybe Keemstar had reached out to Carl Jobst about that particular statement being in his video, and Carl Jobst taking it out of the video and trying to get confirmation. And from what I've heard, he actually there was a video that wasn't necessarily one of the Billy Mitchell videos, but at the end of one of his videos, he did post a retraction. From what I've heard, and I'd have to do my own little research. But if he had posted a retraction, remove that particular content from his video, and a good portion of people weren't really paying attention to the fact that that was actually said in that particular video of his, that initial statement. The statement in question was in that video, because I don't remember hearing that particular statement in the video, and I've heard it. I would say that it wouldn't have been a win for Billy. I would argue that that would be against it, and I would hope that Carl Jobst is going to appeal that particular. Hopefully, he can appeal that particular judgment, but still, it just seems off to me. And a lot of people are still will still be like, well, Carl Jobst basically lied to us. I don't think he really did, because, if I was in Carl Jobst's position, if I was in his situation, I would have thought it was a frivolous lawsuit, because I wouldn't have ever thought that somebody could win off of that. Like, he had already gotten rid of, he had already re-edited the video to remove that particular statement out after it was known to him that it could be false and it could be defamatory. And supposedly there was no retraction, because he was going to go and get down to the bottom of it. And this is why you got to say allegedly, in these cases. But when I read the transcript of what he said, he does say it ultimately led to which ultimately led to caused death. I would say that, let's just say, he had also put in the stress of that, the stress of Apollo Legends' health at the time, and a few other things, all factored into ultimately Apollo's death. I feel like the extra wording that he put in there kind of made it seem like, oh yeah, that Billy wasn't the main catalyst. It just so happened that that's one of many things that could have led up to that particular situation. I mean, he could have said could have, but ultimately it was, whew, like could have probably would make more sense of the fact that it was like, you know, you're not necessarily implying that it was, but you're basically going like you're asking a question. You're kind of being like vague about it. Like you're not sure if it's possible. It could be a factor. It could not be a factor. You know that whole situation, but I don't know. Anywho, that's pretty much all I want to say. I know this is a 20-minute video and all that stuff. I'm gonna edit a few things out, but hopefully you guys will like the video. I'm gonna make another video when I can, but as of now, hey, this is how things are gonna be going forward. You might see this again after I get the vents in here, but still, this is the new setup, and you might see a little bit more green screen too, because I have a whole nother room to work with too. So, but till then, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.